Welcome to Material Issues Live. It's Sunday, the fun day, and it's great to be alive. So hit subscribe, enjoy the vibe, right here on Material Issues. Welcome to Material Issues Live. It's Sunday, the fun day, and it's great to be alive. So hit subscribe, enjoy the vibe, right here on Material Issues.
Yes, it is Sunday, a fun day. It is great to be alive. Welcome, my friends. Episode number 269. That's right, 269. Material Issues. I'm Mark Hershberger of Pop Detective Records. I'm over here in South Jersey where we got a little rain today. The temperature's cooled off a tiny bit. We're feeling much better. And I think it's going to stay rainy for the week and be a little bit cooler. But again, look at this. Just like last week, there's no co-host on the other side of the screen. Where's Mr. David Bash, you might ask? Well, he's out there in Los Angeles, the final night of International Pop Overthrow LA. He's at Corbin Bowl. So you might be there. You might be one of these people who usually watches the show, but you're at Corbin Bowl right now. But David's been doing it the last 10 days, I guess. And this is the final night. So he will be, hopefully, just like last week, he'll be checking in live. He'll pop up on the screen right in the middle when we're in the middle of some great conversation or something. And he'll interrupt us because he's going to have a video of bands playing on stage. He's going to have some interviews with some of the artists that are hanging around the Corbin Bowl. We're going to do just like we did last week. So it's going to be a fun time. If you've got any questions, you got anything you want to pop up in the comment for me at all, please do so. We're just going to be kind of chilling out tonight, waiting for David to pop in and out, and just taking some comments and saying hi. Starman, I hope David's having a great time too. I haven't heard from him today. So that could mean one of two things, or three things, or four. He's having a great time. Wait a second. Hold on. Speaking of David Bash, boom, there he is. It's David Bash from LA. I don't think he can hear us, but we'll figure it out. He's going to show the stage. International Pop Overthrow Los Angeles at Corbin Bowl, live right now. That's the co-host David Bash showing the band playing. He'll talk about it briefly after the song. So for right now, let's just kind of dig it. A decent crowd at Corbin Bowl tonight. Cool looking venue. Buddy Holly vibe going on there. Stone covering Buddy Holly vibe going on there. Corbin Bowl, Los Angeles, live right now David Bash at International Pop Overthrow LA, final night. Not sure who this band is. He'll tell us about it momentarily, but they're rocking. They're killing it. Hey, Tim. Yeah, we can't yell loud enough for David to hear it, but he's live right now in Corbin Bowl, LA. Yeah, cool ending. Very cool.
All right, I'm going to go outside now. Or outside the room, anyway. Pardon me. Everybody all right out here? Can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
That was Tony Marsico and the Ugly Things. Tony Marsico is in the Plugs and the Cruzados. And
nice.
the older gentleman that I focused on is Tony Valentino of the Standells, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Who was there at the show. That was pretty awesome. So here I am at Corbin Bowl. I'm going to go over and we're going to see some people bowling. And they're not skinheads either.
That's a pretty cool venue.
These guys are phonies. They're using a bumper bowling, which is if you're anything over 10 years old, you shouldn't be using that. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can get an interview going. So I'm gonna get off right now, and then we'll get somebody on in just a bit. Thanks.
Oh, good. Well, there you have it right now. What a cool venue. Corbin Bowl in LA. Obviously bowl, B-O-W-L, bowling alley. Man, I miss my youth in bowling alleys, and not that I was a bowler, so to speak, just a for fun bowler, but what great time. But what a cool looking venue. A lot of people there, and one of the original members of the Standells in the audience. How cool is that? Very cool. So what's going to happen tonight? And hey, good to see Tim and Starman in here this evening. David's going to pop in and out, so we don't know when that's going to happen. I get no notice, and he's going to get some interviews going on. He's going to show some more live acts over the next 2 hours, the final night of IPO LA. So my plan tonight is, we talked about this last week, I'm going to do a bit of a Pop Detective Records, which is my record label, retrospective tonight. I've got a bunch of tracks lined up to play from a number of my artists, tracks that were the coolest song in the world for certain weeks on Little Steven's Underground Garage, Sirius XM. So I'm just gonna kind of do what I did last week. We're gonna talk about Pop Detective. We're gonna play some music. If we see David come on in the middle of a song, I'm just gonna fade it down. We'll bring David up, and we'll return to the music and Pop Detective stuff as we. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. We're gonna have some fun tonight. It was your idea, I believe, and we're just gonna do some Pop Detective record stuff. At least if he's not here, I have a chance to beat the bash. We should tell him that, Starman. We're going to say, hey, you weren't around, David. Starman just completely whitewashed you. But yeah, that's kind of what's going to happen tonight. So it's going to be a little herky-jerky with David coming in and out, but that's okay. We just have a good time here on Material Issues. We don't stick to any true professional format because we just dig it and have a good time with music. So going back to the beginning of Pop Detective Records, we talked about it briefly last week, but I used to write for Oddities and Goldmine and Discovery. And wait a second, there's my daughter Leah from Orlando, Florida. Leah, great to see you. I thought that rhymed. Leah, great to see you. I never knew that before. Both my daughters live together for the time being in Orlando, Florida. My oldest daughter's getting married next October, not this upcoming, but the following. But she'll be moving to where her fiance is in Tennessee next month. And Leah is in the process of moving into a brand new apartment with a good friend of hers and staying in Orlando. Leah is my daughter. She is a social media director for a dental office plus 5 other businesses. And she's starting up with the dentist. She's starting up a brand new social media consulting firm in Orlando. So very proud of her, very proud of both my daughters. My oldest daughter being an event planner for Annie Mac nationwide, and Leah, social media director for a number of companies and getting bigger. And it's going to be very, very cool. But great to see you, sweetheart. I love you. So tonight, David Bash will be popping in and out live from Los Angeles, Corbin Bowl. Pop Detective Records, as I said, I wrote for Oddities and Discoveries and Goldmine and a few other magazine articles and things. I did it under the nom de plume, the Pop Detective, because I would find bands that we hadn't heard of in a long time, interview them, and the interviews would pop into these magazines and whatnot. So I was called the Pop Detective, and when the supergroup, the Deadbeat Poets, that I had interviewed via the Blue Ash interview got together, they asked me to put this new CD out, and I was like, I don't have a label. And they said, start one. And with the help of people like Jamie Vernon of Bullseye Records, bullseyerecords.com, and Jim Slade of Groove Discs, groovedisc.com, finding out some information as to how to start a record label. That's what I did, and put out the Deadbeat Poets debut album and virtually everything after that. But one thing I'm really proud of is the logo. We didn't really talk about the logo before, but am I back here? Everything froze a little bit. Why are we frozen? Well, I don't know if anybody can hear me. Send me a comment if you can hear me, because my video just froze on me. Seems like the clock's still ticking, but my video has frozen. I've never seen that happen before. That's weird. Picture is frozen, but we hear you. Thank you, Starman. Yeah, I'm not sure. I am not sure why the picture froze. Hold on one second. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to try to figure this out. I have an Insta 360 camera, and maybe that, there it goes. There it goes. Something happened with my camera feed there, but I'm back. I can see myself moving. Anyway, thanks, Tim. Let's show you the logo. That's the Pop Detective Records logo, and I came up with that idea. I wanted I wanted pop, the word pop, to explode, detective and records, but I kind of wanted it in a circle, like it's like a record or a CD, but because it's popping or exploding, I had this idea to put the lightning bolts in the corner, and Jamie Vernon helped me out with it, and that's how the Pop Detective Records logo came about, which I think is very cool. I'm very proud of that logo. But that's kind of the start of Pop Detective Records, and the very first release on Pop Detective was the Deadbeat Poets debut album. The Deadbeat Poets feature Frank Sesich of Blue Ash, of course, but he was also in, he grew up with Stiv Bators. He was a good friend of Stiv's, and they played in various bands together and wrote together. But Frank was in the latter day Dead Boys with Stiv. And then a couple other members of the Deadbeat Poets, Terry Hartman. We played his kind of Terry passed on. I can't think of what I want to say. Terry passed on 5 years ago, but he was in a band in Cleveland called the Backdoor Men, and they put out a re-recorded using Terry's original vocals album. We played that last week's show, which is very good. But Terry Hartman was part of the Deadbeat Poets, a singer-songwriter, and John Corey and Pete Revere of the Infidels. Now they were also in the very latter day Dead Boys with Stiv when they were very young. So those four guys formed the Deadbeat Poets, and I put out this debut album, Notes from the Underground. And it did pretty darn well all over the place, especially regionally, but most interestingly, it got picked up by the PA announcer at Anfield, which is the Liverpool Football Club's stadium, because there was a track on this debut album called "No Island Like the Mine, No Ship Like Beer," and it's very much an anthem type song. But it caught the ear of number of small stations and things. See, Deadbeat Poets was 2000 and 2006. Yeah, 20 years ago, I believe. 2006 was Deadbeat Poets, Notes from the Underground. So that was my very first release. So I thought, because it was the first one, let's play that track that got some mileage on it. So Deadbeat Poets, this was No Island Like the Mind, No Ship Like Beer.
No food for thought, no money in the bank, no high ideals, no gas in the tank, no God, no guns, no guts, no fear, no island like the mine, no ship like beer. We are the captains and we're the mates, somewhere a paradise awaits, upon the oceans of despair. No island like the mine, no ship like beer. When all this work to no avail, we'll pop the top and set the sail. The sea is calm and the sky is clear. No island like the mine, no ship like beer. The waves of life may pound and crash, no mates to tie us to the mast. When siren songs are in our ear, no island like the mine, no ship like beer. All this work to no avail, we'll pop the top and set the sail. The sea is calm and the sky is clear. No island like the mine, no ship like beer. There's golden apples of the sun somewhere in our cranium, but time and times they disappear. No island like the mine, no ship like beer. No justice, no peace, no guts, no glory, no pain, no gain, no dicky, no washing. No stems, no seeds, no ass, no tail, no fuss, no muss, no credit, no sweat, no shirt, no shoes, no service, no sea, no street, no here, no evil, no fun, no pool, no pets, no cigarettes. No island like the mine, island like the mine, island like the mine, no ship like beer.
No Island Like the Mine, No Ship Like Beer, the Deadbeat Poets. That was from Notes from the Underground, my very first release on Pop Detective. They, as I said, they were kind of a super group that got together after that Blue Ash article came out in Oddities. And so they got in contact with me and told me I should release this thing. No idea what I was doing, but you know what? It didn't turn out too bad. It's a great record, packed with great power pop songs. Frank Sesich is one heck of a songwriter, very prolific. If you know anything about his former band, Blue Ash, with their two major label albums in the early 70s. So check that out. Pop Detective Records, popdetective.com. It's down there on the corner. Just a quick note on the popdetective.com website. It's a cool little website. You can buy physical copies of all these releases. You can download digital copies, for small fee and whatnot. But Mr. Rob Feldman created the website for me. You're probably not familiar with that name, but Rob is a graphic artist and animator, an animation guy. And many years ago, he created this animated cartoon series called Dr. Shroud, SHROUD, drshroud.com, DRSHROUD. And just through happenstance, people we knew, people I met, I actually got to do the voice of Dr. Shroud. And this thing got a lot of play in the animation world, especially in the Pacific Rim. And it actually got within a heartbeat of being made into a live action animated film backed by Nicolas Cage and a couple of big time people, but it just didn't. It's Hollywood. Didn't quite make it. I wouldn't have been the voice of Dr. Shroud or played Dr. Shroud in the major motion picture, but it got real close. So that was a lot of fun. Rob Feldman, drshroud.com if you've never seen it. So I release the Deadbeat Poets, and I did what I thought I could do. It got into some places. It got into Anfield, which I hear it's still being played today at the Liverpool Football Club. But so I thought, that's okay. That was it. I put the album out. That was Pop Detective Records. Yay! Here's my one CD. But during that time, a Norwegian singer that I really, really liked, I heard it on some Norwegian comps sent to me from a friend in Toronto. Vibeke Sagestad. I loved her first two albums. She was on Sony, so two major label albums. She was a Grammy Award winner with a previous band called Weld, W-E-L-D, out of Norway. And I loved her albums. I mean, I really, really loved it. It was kind of glam rock kind of sound with Vibeke lead vocal. And hadn't heard anything about her from like 2 years. But back in the magic of, I think, what was it? What was the other music site? MySpace. I located Vibeke. I sent her a message saying, hey, I love your albums. You got anything else going on coming out that I can look forward to? And she wrote me back out of the blue. And she said, I had two great albums on Sony, but second one didn't do so well. And Sony dropped me. And I'm just sitting here with a full third album in the tank ready to go and nowhere to release it. And of course, light bulbs off in my head. I've got a label. And I did. I had a label. So I told her this, and I said, let's work something out. And turned into one thing, turned into another. And Vibeke Sagestad out of Norway was my second release on my label. That year-wise, that was in 2008. And it was called The World Famous Hat Trick. Let's pull that up right here. This was the second release on Pop Detective. That's Vibeke. What a great album cover. Great power pop record. And I got this thing into the hands of Bill Kelly of Teenage Wasteland, WFMU, New Jersey. And he had an online internet show and a radio show. And he fell in love with it and was playing tracks from the CD. Well, Bill Kelly's very good friend turned out to be little Steven Van Zandt, Springsteen's guitarist. Of course, he had the upstart Underground Garage radio show on Sirius XM. Well, Bill gets the CD to little Steven, so it's really just happenstance. So little Steven fell in love with Vibeke and the CD and immediately started playing it. And before I know it, I get an email from the powers that be at the Underground Garage, Dennis Mortensen, and then little Steven later on. They said, hey, we'd like to make one of these songs from Vibeke's album the coolest song in the world for this week. Now, I didn't know what that meant at the time, but turns out what they do is little Steven handpicks singles, and they play them as the coolest song in the world for the week. It gets into heavy rotation. All the DJs talk about it. It's just all over the place. And it kind of helps the thing explode. And this album really did explode. So if David hasn't popped up yet, that's okay. we're going to play a track. This Vivica Sagastad, my very first coolest song in the world on the Underground Garage, from her album, the world famous Hat Trick. This is the song Tonight, right here on Material Issues. Now, hold on. Here comes David Bash back. We'll get Vivica's thing off of here. We'll pull David back up, and there's David.
Here we, thanks, Mark. Can't really hear you too well, but
no
we
worries.
Just finished the set with Tony Marsico and the Ugly Things, but playing right before them is a band who has played International Pop Overthrow many times, an awesome power pop band called the Glimmer Stars, and with me is the main man of that band, Mr. Minnie Mendez. Say hi to the people of Material Issues.
Material Issue, hello, hello. Good to see you.
Hey, Minnie, good to see you. I love it.
Yes, so how long has the band been around?
The band started, believe it or not, about 20 years ago, and we did our first IPO in 2005, and we've aged gracefully.
He certainly has, yeah.
No, but we love David, and 27 years in LA. I mean, amazing, right?
That's indeed. I love the name Glimmer Stars. Where'd that come from? The name Glimmer Stars.
The Glimmer Stars, where did it come from?
You know what? Honestly, the word glimmer came from a Paul Westerberg song on Paul's first solo record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just some weird, useless trivia, but that's kind of it. And it's been a kind of a rotation of fellas, myself and then some other guys, but we definitely love the power trio. And forgive my look, I'm a little sweaty and worn out, but thank you, David. We all
It's all
know
good.
David.
We all love Minnie, too. Minnie is one of the most gracious people I know. He's the kind of guy who'd hold the door open for you and say thank you to you. That's the kind of guy he is. Everybody really loves him. So how did you get connected with Rumbar Records?
3 years ago, through one of the bands that played today, the legendary Swagger, their singer, Jeff, turned us on to Lou Manstorp, and they put a compilation of our earlier stuff in 2025. And then, yes, right? Yeah. Gosh, I should know that. And then we just have a new album out that just came out a couple months ago on Rumbar. We love Rumbar, and we're happy to be with Rumbar. Great people.
Wonderful. Yeah, great label. Great label. Great label.
Yeah.
Glimmer Stars. So you also have a Bandcamp page, other social media people can find you? Up there froze. It's Material Issues. We always have. Go ahead. I was going to say, do you have a Bandcamp page, social media? Where can people find you?
Yes, Bandcamp, Glimmer Stars on Bandcamp, or Rumbar. Actually, Rumbar. That's, the best place to go. And on Instagram and on Facebook and all that good stuff.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, people can look for it. Great stuff. Always like the Glimmer Stars. Always dig the music.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's so nice of you. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, we're having fun, 2-chord rock and roll, and that's what it's all about. And thank you for what you do. I've met Jim Ellison. Material Issue. And of course, we love David, and we love you guys. Thank you.
Excellent. Great. Thank you.
Yes, thanks so much, Minnie. The new album called Some Days a Long Time,
Yes.
right?
You know where that comes from?
No.
It's a Raspberries lyric. Some days a long time, and we've been waiting so long.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
my God.
So yeah, I caught that. I love the Raspberries, so that's where the title came from. It's just some useless trivia that you can toss at 2 a.m.
Absolutely perfect. Yes.
All right, anyway, we're going to get ready for the next band, Gigi Phoenix, and we'll do an interview with her right after they're done. They're the last band of the day.
Great band.
So anyway, I might not have introduced you. This is Mark Hershberger. He's my podcast partner.
I know who you are, Mark. Of course.
Thank you,
of course.
Vinny.
I love your show, and I love power pop.
That he does.
Good to see you.
I want to sound like Barry Manilow, but I sound like Bon Scott, and yeah, which is a compliment. But I'm working on that. I've been getting some Steve Marriott, so that's cool.
That's cool
Steve
too.
Marriott, Small Faces, Humble Pie, etc. Anyway, I'm going to leave it back to you, Mark, and then
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, Minnie.
Thank you, Minnie. And I will, I'll definitely come back on. We'll do a live shot of Gigi Phoenix playing. And then at the end, we'll do an interview with her. And then I'll get going and just leave it to you to finish the show. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers, David.
Thank you, Minnie.
Oh, Jamie, you're such a troll. Thank you.
Well, there's David Bash with Minnie from the Glimmer Stars. Very nice. That's kind of what's going to happen tonight. David's going to pop in and out. I think he's going to do one more live shot of the stage and then do one more interview. But we'll get back to where we were. Tyler, I know you chimed in and said you love Vivica's Christmas album, EP. Yes, Vivica Sagastad from All of Me. That's on Pop Detective. 4 tracks, four wonderful Christmas tracks that she wrote. They're self-penned. They're not covers of famous Christmas songs. But yeah, she is amazing. She was actually out on tour. Just did a tour in the UK of 6 or 8 dates. I caught her up here in New Jersey real quick about a month and a half ago. So yeah, her Christmas EP's on Pop Detective, popdetective.com. Let's get back to her album, The World Famous Hat Trick, and we'll return to the song we were playing. We're going to stop it and hit pause, and we're going to go back to Vivica's song Tonight. Coolest song in the world on the Underground Garage. That was in August of 2008. Here we go.
Hands and knees, I never did pretend to be a clover. I know you will rage and lie, tease me with your head up high. Look me in the eye and say it's over. 'Cause tonight, I'm pretty sure that tonight I'm gonna love again tonight. See, I know that tonight I'm gonna love. I try not to scream and shout. I realize I am about to end up like the ones I always hated. 'Cause it hurts to see you. It hurts to see you, but I'll hold on. Yeah, I'll hold on. 'Cause tonight, I'm pretty sure that tonight I'm gonna love again tonight. See, I know that tonight I'm gonna love. I'm pretty sure that tonight I'm gonna love again tonight. You see, I know that tonight I'm gonna love.
That was Tonight from Vivica Sagastad, the world famous Hat Trick. That song was coolest song in the world on Little Steven's Underground Garage in August of 2008. That was my very first coolest song in the world. Yeah, great track, right, Starman? She is something else. If you haven't checked out all of her work, not only the Pop Detective releases, but her previous solo CDs on Sony out of Norway, which are impossible to find anymore, but you can listen to them online. Just amazing vocalist. She puts on a heck of a show if they ever tour around your area, make sure you check out Vivica. While we're talking Pop Detective, anybody has any questions on the whole label and everything, please fire them off. I'll be glad to answer them. So that was my first coolest song in the world on Pop Detective Underground Garage Little Steven's channel. I've had 16 coolest songs in the world from my label. I think it's the most of any label of all time. I think, outside of Little Steven's actual Wicked Cool label, his own label, he's, a lot of those artists are coolest songs in the world, and rightly so. They're great, and it's his label, so why not? But the next two coolest songs in the world that I had kind of came from my relationship with Vivica, because this world famous hat trick came out. It exploded. It was coolest song in the world. I'm just like, wow, this is really crazy. And I ended up going down to South by Southwest in Austin and setting up a little table. And I had so many people approaching me and give me their stuff. And, because they knew me from that one coolest song in the world. It was really nuts. But in Vivica's recording band and her live band back when world famous hat trick came out was Morten Henriksen. He was the guitar player, great friend of Vivica's, but he played in a well-known Norwegian band called the Yum Yums. And Vivica also played in the Yum Yums. She played keyboards and did some backing vocals, but it was Morten's oh, look here, I own about 50 radio show CDs all from around. Nice, Tim, fantastic. Are those are they bootlegs? It's kind of cool. I have a lot of that stuff on MP3 myself. But yeah, so Morten played in the Yum Yums. They had a number of albums out, and they were pretty well known throughout Europe and in Norway. And so Vivica was like, the Yum Yums have never been released in the United States. It's always, imports there. So maybe you want to think about doing something. And I got in touch with Morten and put out their album. What the heck was their album called? The Yum Yums. Hold on, it's right here. I'm getting old. I'm blanking. Here's the album from the Yum Yums. Oh yeah. Whatever Rhymes with Baby. Very cool album cover. The Yum Yums. And I put that out and it sent it up to Little Steven in the Underground Garage. I'm thinking, I got lucky once with Vivica. How could I possibly let's see, they're not, but actual CD played on the, oh, very cool. Oh, I see what you mean. Great, cool. I got you, Tim. So I sent up the Yum Yums, so whatever rhymes with baby, to Little Steven, and darned if like a week later I get a call again from Little Steven and the whole gang at the Underground Garage saying, hey, we love this one track from the Yum Yums. We'd like to make it coolest song in the world coming up. And so in January of 2009, which was just essentially 5 months after Vivica was coolest song in the world, the Yum Yums track Too Good to Be True was selected as coolest song in the world from this whatever rhymes with baby. It is a rockin' track. It actually was selected. It was my first song that ever made anything outside of radio, but a Rise Darby, if you remember him, he played the manager on the Concords. What was that? The TV show of HBO, whatever, Flight of the Concords. He played their manager. Well, he was in a movie called Coming and Going, and they contacted me to license the song for that movie. So very cool. All of a sudden, I've got two coolest songs in the world, a song and a movie, and I still have very little idea what the heck's going on. So for your listening pleasure right now on Pop Detective, this was coolest song in the world, January of 2009. It is the Yum Yums track, Too Good to Be True. Turn it up loud because this rocks.
I'm headed for disaster. I know
that is that is the Yum Yums. Too Good to Be True on Pop Detective. Whatever rhymes with baby. Yeah, that's just a killer track. Really came out of the gates hot for my second. Does it translate to money or exposure? I mean, everybody knew the Yum Yums, but I think they came over and we did a tour, a Pop Detective Records tour in the States here. They were already a known entity in the States via import and people loving power pop, and they were pretty big in Norway already and Scandinavian countries. The movie, I think, helped with that. Isn't a lot of money. It's not that lucrative, and I poured mostly everything right back into the label. Royalty wise for them, I'm sure, yes, they did very, very well. Label wise, we sold a decent amount of physical copies, and we did all right. But as I said, I put it right back into the label, and I'm kind of glad I did, because it just kind of put music out there more and more. So that's the Yum Yums. Whatever rhymes with baby. Too Good to Be True ended up in the motion picture Coming and Going. It was my second coolest song in the world in January of 2009. So Morton came from Vivica, who was the keyboard player in the Yum Yums when they toured around. Now, the guitar player in the Yum Yums at one point was Andre Dahlman. And because of his association with the Yum Yums and Vivica and whatnot, he gets in touch with me saying, would you be interested in putting out this EP that my band called the Dahlmans, first release from them at all. And they sent me the EP, and it was fantastic 4-track EP. And the one song on it that really, of course, caught my attention was their cover of Lindsey Buckingham's Holiday Road from the Vacation, the movies. You'll know that, they did a great cover. So I said, okay, I'm gonna put this out, and I did. And that was like a year after this Yum Yums, because I was doing my best to just do what I could do, but the label wasn't a full-time pursuit. But I put out this Dahlmans. Of course, I send it up to little Steven, and boom, right away, I get a phone call again, and they'd like to make Holiday Road, the Dahlmans version, Lindsey Buckingham track, coolest song in the world. And wow, here comes my third coolest song in the world, Holiday Road from the Dahlmans. That was coolest song June of 2010. So that was about a year and a half after the Yum Yums. Well, not only was that coolest song in the world, but we've gotten a lot of mileage out of that. As Andre says, that's just it's a cover track that never dies. It was in an episode, primetime Friday night show, The Goldbergs. It was in an episode of The Goldbergs. It was ESPN's Motor Week Song of the Month for November of that year. The whole month, ESPN was playing it on Motor Week TV show. Recently, it was licensed by Mattel, the toy company, for a whole run of Christmas commercials that they did. Their version of Holiday Road is absolutely wonderful, and we've been very, very close with that cover many times for national commercials. That another cover by a band got it. We've been really, really close. We got down to the final two for big time national commercial. Didn't get it, but such is the breaks. But so I thought I'd play it for you now. If David pops in, of course, we'll go live with David. But here was my third coolest song in the world. It was June of 2010. It's from this EP called The Dahlmans. They did a cover of Dancing with Joey Ramone. Their original is I Want You Around and Don't Tell the Man. Yeah. But here we go. It's the Dahlmans cover of Holiday Road right here on Material Issues and Pop Detective Records, popdetective.com.
I found out long ago. It's a long way down the holiday road. Holiday road. Holiday road. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Take a ride down the West Coast kid. Holiday road. Holiday road. Holiday road. Holiday I found out long ago. It's a long way down the holiday road. 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 Holiday road.
Holiday Road by the Dolmans on Pop Detective Records. That was the third coolest song in the world on the record label, Underground Garage, Little Steven. And as Andre does laugh about it, it just obviously the Dolmans want their original material to be known for it, but thank you for all the good words on Holiday Road. Thank you, Tyler. It's a great song, but the Dolmans did kick it. Yeah, they did. But he laughs. Andre laughs, saying it is the cover song that just won't go away. Well, but that's a good thing, and we still get mileage out of it today. It still floats around, and you never know where it might pop up. But that was my third coolest song in the world. So I've got essentially 4 releases under my belt, and of my 4 releases, 3 of them had coolest songs in the world on Underground Garage. So I'm starting to figure out this record label thing a little bit and kind of know how to do that. People start asking me questions as to how to do it. I'm like, you just gotta pick good songs. And I remember little Steve was telling me you've got an ear for really good artists, and he even said at one point, you got to Vivica before I did, you got to the Dolmans before I did, because he's very big on Norwegian pop and rock, and he knows what he's talking about. That, yeah, maybe the definitive version of me now. Thank you, Starman. Yeah, it's a killer version. So I was rolling right along. I had 3 coolest songs in the world. So we talked about the Deadbeat Poets notes from the underground. While all this other stuff was going on, I'm putting together a brand new release from the Deadbeat Poets, an album called Circus Town. Great graphics, great graphics on the album cover, but just again, a killer album from the minds of Frank Sesich, Terry Hartman, Pete Trevere, and John Corey. So as Holiday Road is coolest song and being played to death, I release Circus Town, and of course I send that up to Little Steven, the Underground Garage, and he fingers crossed. And gosh, it wasn't even 1 month later, I get a call saying, hey, Little Steven's doing a special show on legendary producer Joe Meek. Now on Circus Town, Frank Sesich wrote a song called The Staircase Stomp, which is essentially about Joe Meek and living in the apartment upstairs, and he would come stomping down the stairs, and actually when he died, he supposedly fell down the stairs and such. And So on the album, there's a song called The Staircase Stomp. Steven understood what it was all about. They were going to do a Joe Meek special, and he said, we'd like The Staircase Stomp to be the coolest song in the world for the week of the special. So this was essentially 1 month after Holiday Road was a coolest song in the world. So in July of 2010, Deadbeat Poets right out of the gate with this album right here called Circus Town. Absolutely incredible album from the Deadbeat Poets. It's on Pop Detective, and their song, The Staircase Stomp, coolest song in the world in Underground Garage. And here it is on Material Issues for your listening pleasure. If David pops in, we'll go right to David live from IPO LA. Here are the Deadbeat Poets, The Staircase Stomp.
I hear a new world I'm heading toward. Calling to Brian on the dictaphone. Do you call me often when you're alone? Popping diet pills, bouncing off the walls. Talking to a cat at the Wally Farm. Stop, 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 do the staircase stop. Rock, 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 until we drop. Magic, spinning reels. Tragic, turning wheels. Calling up the Telstar, out in space. The sound of the future, right in place. The syndicates blasting on that Easter moon. The rockin' beat of the honeycombs. But there were human microphones and the wallpaper. Dagger and Spectre had the spies everywhere. Red Boys, paranoia, bills in hand. Dead and depression took a hold of a man. Stop, 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 do the staircase stop. Rock, 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 until we drop. Magic, spinning reels. Tragic, turning wheels. Get the passion of you. It was February 3rd on Holloway Road. Joe was staring at the open mail. Joe turned to Patrick asking if he would go down and get Violet if you'd be so good.
Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand?
Patrick heard some shouting in a big loud bang. Violet fell down the stairs in Patrick's arms. 8 years from the day that Buddy Holly died, there was to be a murder-suicide. Stop, 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 do the staircase stop. Rock, 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 until we drop. Magic, spinning reels. Tragic, turning wheels. Stop, 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 do the staircase stop. Rock, 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 until we drop. Magic, spinning reels. Tragic, turning wheels. Get the passion of
The Deadbeat Poets, The Staircase Stomp. That was my fourth coolest song in the world on the Underground Garage. I think it came in as the number 2 coolest song of the year that year as well, based on fan voting and things. So, if you think about it, I had 5 releases on the label, and 4 of them again had coolest songs in the world. Very grateful to Little Steven and the Underground Garage, Dennis Mortensen, and everybody involved. Made me look like a genius, which I definitely was not. I appreciate all the artists. I appreciate Frank Laudo Frank Laudo, when you see a lot of the Deadbeat Poets graphics, he did the graphics. Like that Circus Town cover, absolutely gorgeous. And he did that. Now, Frank Laudo is a very, very accomplished graphic artist in his own right. And he's won a lot of awards and things. So really beautiful. And what a wonderful CD. The whole album is just fantastic. Again, listen to it out there on Spotify. If you want to buy a copy, go ahead, popdetective.com. You can get it there as well. It's great. So I was on a roll. And the next few coolest songs in the world, I'm not going to play them because we've already played things from those artists. But about 5 or 6 months later, I had another EP out from the Dolmans, and there was a song on there which little Steven picked as coolest song in the world. It was "I Love You, Baby," but I Hate Your Friends. Andre and his wife Lena, two wonderful people. I mean, she's just an absolute sweetheart. I love her to death. I love both of them to death. They're just great people. Everybody involved with the Dolmans. But that was coolest song in the world, by number 5, coolest song in the world, January of 2011. And then again, 1 month later, Deadbeat Poets on another album from the Poets, The Man with the X-Ray Eyes, a Terry Hartman song, coolest song in the world. So that was my 6th coolest song in the world. That came in February of 2011. And then 2 months later, off that same EP, the Dolmans, right back again with coolest song in the world, Candy Pants. And that was all over the place too. What a great track that was. That was coolest song in the world, number 7 for me in April of 2011. Then I had a bit of a hiatus as things were, looking for artists and doing this and that. And good friends of Frank Sesich and the Deadbeat Poets, Pete Revere, a band that recorded at Pete's studios, Amprion Studios in Youngstown, was a band out of Mechanicsburg/Harrisburg, the Jelly Bricks. And I was familiar with their debut CD, really liked the band a lot. But I don't really remember how the conversation even came about, whether they got in touch with me. Or via Frank, they got in touch with me, and they had tried with their first 2 CDs. They tried to get on the Underground Garage. They couldn't break through. They couldn't be successful. How, do I have any advice for them? They got this new album that they're thinking of putting out. What should they do? I'm paraphrasing the whole thing. But I said, why don't we put your album out and we'll put the Pop Detective Records stamp on it. It's your album, but we'll put Pop Detective on it. And we'll release on the label. I'll promote it my way because the bottom line is I love bands getting their music out there. And if I could help in any way, I was just happy to do so. So we stamped Pop Detective Records on it. I sent the album up to the Underground Garage, and darn if I didn't get a call. I mean, this one happened really fast. I think it was within a week of it being in Little Steven's hands. I get a call saying they want to make Jelly Bricks. Oh, wait, hold on. Here comes David Bash right back. Join us in progress. Another band in IPOLA, Corbin Bowl. I forget who this is. He did mention what their name was, but I think he's going to do an interview with them after their set. So it's hard to hear though. And he can't really hear me talking, where I tell him to kind of move back from the stage, kind of blowing out his iPhone microphone. Get a little gist of it. Corbin Bowl, LA. International Pop Overthrow. Final night of 10 nights. David is live. The Corbin Bowl seems like a really cool venue. Love the stage background, nice big stage for the band. And the bowling alley. It's like that thing you do, the Wonders type of thing. At Villa Piano's Pizza. I love it. I know the Deadbeat Poets were on a European tour. They actually played, I think, Scotland or something, above a bowling alley where the pins and the thing were right below them. And they were up on the stage above. People bowling and looking at them. That was crazy. Oh, you saw the Twigs, yeah. Of course, we've had their father, Ronnie Didario, on the show. Which is wonderful. So yeah, they're out touring right now. Twigs are one of the best young bands out there today, bar none. If you get a chance to see them, anybody, make sure you check them out. Their latest album is fantastic. Starman, we still need to make date to have some lunch and talk about your dad as well. Keep that in my head. Yeah, he's a real nice guy, character, great guy. This band's got a cool vibe. David will tell us who it is.
All right, that was Sheezy Phoenix, our last act of the afternoon. I'm going to go outside so that I could be heard. Okay. Okay, make sure I don't lock myself out. How's it going, Mark?
It's going great. Well,
Here?
yeah, you're frozen a little bit, but I can hear you. Are you still there? Maybe you got too far from the Wi-Fi. Material issues. That's
all right.
yeah.
Here we go. Did you get that, Mark?
Yeah, move your hand. I can't see you.
The video came in okay?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you can't see me? I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, but
No,
I'll sign
you're-
off and come back in again after the festival's over.
All right. Your hand's blocking your face. Can't hear me. He'll come back. Come back in. I don't think he knows we are getting a true skin shot of David right now. Well, he's having a good time. Yeah, Starman, yeah, be great. Be great to talk to you about your dad. But let's get back to where we were. So the Jelly Bricks, I said, there we go. How about the Terrifieds? Great song, I'm Coming Home. How fantastic was that Terrifieds EP? Best album covers ever. I know. Tribute to men's magazines of the 50s. Yeah, if you don't know the Terrifieds, anybody, I don't have it in front of me here, but go out to popdetective.com, check out their album cover. And the Terrifieds featured, I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden, but he was the #1 stand-up comic in Norway. Worked pretty dirty and whatnot, but he also played in bands. And I released a vinyl EP. I sent a CD copy along with it on the label. But yeah, check out the Terrifieds. I'm Coming Home is killer. But yeah, so I told the Jelly Bricks, I said, why don't we just throw Pop Detective Records again? I mean, literally within a week of mailing it up there, get a call from Steven in the Underground Garage saying, we'd love the Jelly Bricks. They love the sound of the production. They love the song. Like to make their track Rock and Roll Suicide coolest song in the world. So that came about a year after the Dolmans Candy Pants in March of 2012. It was my label's 8th coolest song in the world. And yeah, absolutely killer track. popdetective.com. It is the Jelly Bricks off their we're off their album Suckers. And here it is. It's Rock and Roll Suicide, Material Issues.
Everything is easy once you're untied, living the life again. Even if it's only on the outside, destined to go round the bend in a blaze of glory for one last time. I have seen the light come beaming, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. My brain is bleeding, my soul is kneeling, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. Things are so damn easy on the numb ride when the downside is your friend. But you just can't relate to feeling good now, always perfecting the end for a tortured genius who lost his mind. I have seen the light come beaming, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. My brain is bleeding, my soul is kneeling, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. I have seen the light come beaming, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. My brain is bleeding, my soul is kneeling, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. I have seen the light come beaming, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. My brain is bleeding, my soul is kneeling, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. My friends are all gonna hit the ceiling when I'm feeling like a rock and roll suicide. And I have seen the light come beaming,
Jelly Bricks, Rock and Roll Suicide on Pop Detective Records. That was my coolest song in the world, March of 2012. It's my 8th one on the label. So, again, very blessed, very grateful for Little Steve in the Underground Garage in having my artists have coolest songs. Now, at the same time, as Steven said, I did have a good ear for picking out really good music. And the Jelly Bricks, to this day, are very good friends of mine. They were picked up by Wicked Cool Records. They're on Little Steven's label now, and they're doing great guns with a few more albums under the belt for Wicked Cool. They were on the Wicked Cool Underground Garage cruise not too long ago. Very talented guys, very good friends of mine. They had an episode here on Material Issues not too long ago, but they deserve all the success they've achieved through Wicked Cool, and great stuff. So that was the 8th coolest song in the world. And then, doing my thing, and a year later, I had known John Fay from seeing him play locally a lot. John Fay, essentially out of Philadelphia. I think he lives in Delaware. But John Fay was the one of the prime members of the Caulfields, major label success. He had a band called Ike, which played around here quite often that I would go out and see. And, of course, he had the John Fay Power Trip. John Fay, incredible singer, songwriter, incredible frontman. Well, he got together with a female artist named Brittany Rotondo, and they were going to put out this CD called John and Brittany, and it looked like that. And I again, my memory sometimes goes, but John got in touch with me, and with Ike and John Fay Power Trip and some things he could never break through to the Underground Garage, and he knew who I was locally with Pop Detective, and he asked me how could they do it? How could they get through? And once again, I said, why don't we slap Pop Detective Records label on it, and we'll put it out under Pop Detective, and I'll get it up into Steven's hands. I said, I can't guarantee anything. I've been very lucky so far, and Steven does have an ear for the artists that I send up. So we sent it up, and literally 2 weeks after the Underground Garage got it, I get a call again, and Steven absolutely loved this John and Brittany album, and they wanted the track Start Sinning from the album as the coolest song in the world for the week of March 2013, notching up my 9th coolest song in the world. And John and Brittany, fantastic people to this day, great friends. I went up, and actually Brittany had asked me to grab my acoustic guitar and show up at her abuela, her grandmother's birthday party in their house. Jackie Bam Bam, her partner in life, the WMMR DJ. I went up and I sang happy birthday and a couple of songs for her mom, and she comes to the restaurant that I work at every once in a while, and we stay in touch with a lot of things. So John and Brittany, great friends, very, very talented people and musicians. So coolest song number 9 on Pop Detective, John and Brittany. The track is called Start Sinning, right here on Material Issues, popdetective.com.
When something fierce was knocking until
Start Sinning by John and Brittany. That was my ninth coolest song in the world on Pop Detective Records. Yeah, I love that track. Love John and Brittany. Tyler, good question. Did ever have any bands approach you that you thought more trouble than they're worth? No names, please. Only one. We talked last week about a number of artists that approached me to be on Pop Detective, some of which I desperately wish I would have had the time and the funds to put it out properly, but I just couldn't do it at the time. And I knew if I said yes, I couldn't give it the time and effort it really deserved. So there were a number of those kind of artists that I was like, but I just couldn't do it. Just too much going on. There was one artist that I did sign, and no matter what I said to them, and I pride myself on not saying, here's how you got to do things. You got to change this song. You got to change this chord. I've never done that with the artists. Do their thing. I put it out and I love it. But when it comes to putting it out and then what I think you should do in order to help promote it and based on the kind of people you are, your age range, your demographic, here's what you can do, the internet, There was one artist that I did sign and they wouldn't play the game in any way, shape, or form. And it sadly, I think it could have been much, much, much bigger than it ever turned out to be. But it was my one flop. I don't have any regrets. I'm glad to have been a part of it. But yeah, just one. That's a good question, Tyler. So that was my coolest song in the world, number 9 on the label. That was in March of 2013. About 8 months later, the Deadbeat Poets have put out an EP, 3-track EP. The main song was a cool little rockabilly thing that Frank wrote called Johnny Sincere. Only available on that little EP. It's on popdetective.com. But Stephen loved it. It rocked. That was my 10th coolest song in the world in November of 2013. And then not too much longer after that, but 3 months later, another track off the Jelly Bricks Suckers album, About the Weekend, was chosen as coolest song in the world. I think Johnny Sincere and About the Weekend were like 2 and 3 coolest songs in the world. I can't remember anymore. But my 11th coolest song was another Jelly Bricks great track called About the Weekend. That was in February of 2014. We followed that back up 3 months later with a new EP from the Dolmans and a track called He's a Drag. Little Steven loved that too. Got a lot of airplay. It was coolest song in the world, number 12 for the label in May of 2014. And then 3 months later, another track from John and Brittany called Saint Valentine was picked as coolest song in the world. It was number 13 for me. And again, 13 coolest songs in the world. My head is just spinning. I'm so grateful. I'm just so happy these artists were out there. They were being played. Because the nice thing about like Steven and the Underground Garage, not only when you're coolest song in the world or when you're just other tracks that maybe are not coolest song in the world, he plays them a lot. You know, the DJ's always backfill and promo the label and the artist. And then, of course, anywhere Sirius XM is being played. Oh, wait, here comes David. Hold on. There he is.
Can you see me now, Mark?
I can see it. When you were outside, you had your hand in front of your camera. All we saw was your hand.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All good.
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi is working.
I hear you fine.
Not working all that well.
I hear you fine.
Yeah, you're really. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, you're hearing me now?
Fine. Yes.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
freezing, Mark.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi screwed up.
Let's try this. I've got Gigi Phoenix here. She just played a set with her band. Say hello to Mark Hershberger, my podcast partner.
Mark.
From
Hey,
Material Issues.
hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
You too, Gigi. Hi, hi. Very,
Ah,
very nice sound of the set. Very cool vibe. I liked it. Cool vibe, great sound. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, it really
thank you
sounded
so
good.
much. I really appreciate that. I'm
Yeah,
like leaning
indeed.
in, so if my face is really big, it's because I'm trying to hear you.
You've got a little wax. You got a little wax in your ear. You got some wax in your ear. Ah, they froze. Darn it! I like the wax in the ear comment. That was funny.
the
But they
band been
froze.
together, Gigi.
So we've been together actually just since November.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, but we've actually played together before in the Chantepleurs. So it was a pretty easy, move to come into playing the Gigi Phoenix stuff, and we just kind of just gelled right away. But yeah, since November 2025, and we've just had, a few rehearsals, and this was actually our second official show as Gigi Phoenix. So
Oh, wow. What's what are your future plans for Gigi Phoenix?
Are we back?
Yeah, I'm just asking her
Dang,
what her
this
future
Wi-Fi.
plans are.
What?
I was asking her what her future plans are for Gigi Phoenix. Recording?
She wants to know what your future plans are.
oh,
Gigi
like
Phoenix.
besides taking over the world. Oh, okay. No.
Just like Madonna.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we're planning on actually we're working on some music right now, and we're finishing up my debut album, which should hopefully be coming out by the end of the year. And we're just scheduling some more shows. Hoping to play a few more shows in Los Angeles and San Diego, Southern California, and possibly even do like a little West Coast tour too. So,
Nice. Very good. Very good. Yeah, cool vibe. I really like the vibe of the band. Sounded good for what we could hear. We heard it pretty good.
Yeah, no, they've got a great vibe. Obviously, Blondie's a major influence. Some Eurythmics, just a lot of cool '80s female stuff going on. And they have a track, and I have sent you your IPO compilation, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Their fourth track on disc one is called Last Chance. That is their track. And check it out. Check out the video for Last Chance. There we go.
oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. It's a really cool video. Where'd you get the idea to do that kind of video, and who produced it?
Okay, yeah. So we were just thinking, it has like obviously a very 80s vibe. So we were kind of thinking it would be really cool to do sort of like the Hanna-Barbera kind of a thing. So my husband, who does like video production and all this type of creative work, he actually painstakingly worked on this video, and we got pictures of actually my very first crush. Was actually a drummer in a band called Dr. X and the Breakups, but he was in a band in high school called Green Panic, and we thought it would be kind of cute to have this animated video, where there's a battle of the bands, and it's Gigi Phoenix against Green Panic, which was his band in high school. So, yeah, it was super fun to put together, and of course, everybody at my old high school got a kick out of it as well. So, yeah, it was really fun.
Well, we look forward to the first release from Gigi Phoenix. Yeah, we look
Thank
forward
you
to your
so
new
much.
album. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mark. I'm gonna get going like this, and I gotta pack up and get out of here. So that was Gigi Phoenix. They finished up the festival for us. Really great band, and yeah, I will. I'll see everybody next week when Scott Fairs is on from the Hollywood Stars. Meanwhile, we'll let Mark take this out for us, and thanks. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
See ya. Cheers. Well, there you go. David Bash finishing up IPO Los Angeles, International Pop Overthrow Los Angeles at Corbin Bowl. Yeah, we do these live feeds from the cavern and from wherever he's at. Sometimes it gets a little sketchy, but it's always fun to see this kind of stuff. And I'm glad he does it. Tyler, we do you handle promotion with bands you sign? Do you normally sign for one single or more? Yeah, no, I handle. I'm just kind of a one-man operation. Excuse me. It's not just singles, mostly albums, but many of the bands, not many, some of the bands like to just put out just kind of EPs. They don't go in the studio and do a full 10 or 12 tracks. They like 3 or 4 EPs, and they like to do 2 or 3 EPs during the year instead of just one big album. So, but yeah, I send it out everywhere. I send it out to, radio and magazines and, of course, satellite radio, and I send it out to television and film music supervisors. I just, like I said, I pour it all back into the label and just, flood it out there and just try my best to get any kind of recognition. But of course, as I said, the Underground Garage really, really, really helps a lot. And I can't stress how big that was for my record label in those years. And Little Steven's been fantastic. So we left off at coolest song number 13, John and Brittany's St. Valentine, which was great. Another Frank Sesich, Stiv Bader's connection. Eddie Best was a member of the latter-day Dead Boys, a guitarist for the Dead Boys. He formed a band out of Austin called the Go Wows. And of course, Frank turned me on to this band. In the band, Chrissy Flatt, which is a funny story because her grandfather was Lester Flatt of Flatt and Scruggs, which was the duo that did Foggy Mountain Breakdown, the Beverly Hills theme song as well. And I actually saw Flatt and Scruggs in the mid 70s at Kutztown State College, where I grew up, when I went to all the concerts up at Keystone Hall. And yeah, I went and saw Flatt and Scruggs. But when I first met Chrissy as part of all this, she said she was thinking of changing her name, and I said, "What are you going to make it, Joan Flatt or something like that?" But I said, "No, you got to stick with Chrissy Flatt. You're known, with that." But Chrissy's fantastic. To this day, we're still in touch. And but the Go Wows, a great project by Eddie Best. They rocked. And yeah, I put out their album, sent it up to Steven. And I guess, not only the Stiv Bader's connection, because Steven knew Stiv, and of course knew Frank from way back in the day. But this Go Wows album is a lot of fun. And Steven picked up the song Gimme Some Fun from the Go Wows. It turned out to be Pop Detective's 14th coolest song in the world, June of 2015. Wow, that seems like just yesterday, but darn, it was 9 years ago itself. But here you go on Material Issues. This is coolest song in the world for me, number 14 from the Go Wows. This is Gimme Some Fun. Eddie Best.
Hanging round
The Go Wows. Give me some fun. The self-titled album from Eddie Best and the Go Wows out of Austin, Texas. Eddie Best, latter day Dead Boys guitarist and whatnot. Great track, really fun track. And that was my 14th coolest song in the world on the Underground Garage in June of 2015. And it wasn't that much longer. Another Dolmans EP I put out. It's probably about a year later. But another Dolmans EP. It contained a cover of Katrina and the Waves song, Do You Want Crying? And just a killer cover. And I actually heard from the guitarist from Katrina and the Waves congratulating me on the cover, saying how much he loved it. He actually wrote the track. I forget his name all of a sudden, but that was very cool. That was the coolest song in the world, number 15 in July of 2016. And then my final coolest song in the world with the record label in May of 2017 was another new Dolmans EP, and it contained a track written by Andy Chernoff of the Dictators. And I've met Andy a couple times since then, and he really loved the fact that the Dolmans covered the track. And again, little Steven, thank you very much. Kimberly Rue, thank you. The Dolmans covered, or that didn't cover, it's a Dolmans track covered Andy Chernoff written song called Forever My Baby. And it turned out to be the final coolest song in the world for Pop Detective. The label kind of, once COVID hit, it kind of faded a bit. I'm not saying it's completely dead. Who knows what the future may hold, but let's play one final track here tonight on Material Issues. This is the final and 16th and final coolest song in the world. It came from, let's see here, this album or EP with the Dolmans featuring Andy Chernoff. The track is Forever My Baby. Here on Material Issues, Pop Detective Records. Cheers.
When I saw you standing in the shadows at the Stooges show, then I knew I had to have you and never let you go. Well, maybe I was hypnotized, and maybe I was a fool, but I gave you everything I had, and now I'm afraid I'm losing you. You're forever my baby, forever, forever. We will meet again. Forever.
Forever My Baby, the Dolmans EP on Pop Detective, the 16th and final coolest song in the world on Pop Detective, 2017. Yeah, what did you say there, Tyler? Yeah, Andy Chernoff writes great songs. He sure does. Another super talented, original member of the Dictators. And just a heck of a songwriter. And the Dolmans did a great version with Andy singing there as well. Andy was part of it. So yeah, that's kind of the Pop Detective Records story to date. Who knows what the future may bring? I am so grateful to little Steven. He's been a very good friend, and he's been a very good ally in music. He's played so many of my artists. Dennis Mortensen, who kind of really runs things at the Underground Garage. But Steven does have his hand personally on everything that he picks for that show on Sirius XM. So, just really, really proud to be a part of it all. And I can't stress enough how grateful I am. So yeah, that's the material issues tonight. David will be back next week. Let's talk about next week. We're going to have a guest again. He won't be IPOing it. We're going to have Scott Fairs on the show. Early 70s band, the Hollywood Stars, great glam rock band. Kim Fowley was involved, so I'm sure we'll hear some stories from Scott about that. But they have a brand new album out recently, kind of a reunion album. So we're going to play some tracks off of that. We're going to talk to Scott and have a great time. Memories of the Hollywood Stars. That's next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That's the 23rd. And then on the 30th of August, the last Sunday night in August, as the summer months start to wind down, we're going to have a Universal Music executive for many years, Mr. Jay Gilbert. David booked Jay to be on the show. And we're going to talk music, publishing and licensing and Universal and all kinds of questions. I think, there are acts that I would love to reissue, and I think a lot of people would have, but it's a real tough nut to get through licensing via Universal. It really is inexpensive. So I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions to Jay Gilbert on the 30th at 8 p.m. from Universal. First Sunday in September, David will be up in IPO Vancouver. So we'll probably have another show kind of like this. We'll talk music, we'll play music, we'll just see what's going on. And David will check in live from International Pop Overthrow, Vancouver, Canada on the 6th. And then on the 13th, another Beach Boys related guest. We've had a number of them over the years here on Material Issues. On the 13th, we're going to have Steve Kalanick. He's a poet and a lyricist who's worked with Dennis and Brian Wilson on a number of songs. So he's going to have some great memories of Dennis and Brian. We're going to talk to him about his one solo album he had in the late 60s, I think, and working with Dennis and Brian. So that's on the 13th of September. After that, we do have a lot of irons in the fire. We always say it. We love that phrase, but we are working on more and more guests. If they pan out, going to be great. And so stick around. Oh, thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it. Everything that I listed there were coolest songs in the world, but there are more things out there on popdetective.com. You'll find some more stuff that I've released that just didn't make it as cool a song or different kind of genre feel to it or whatnot. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. And Pop Detective, I'm proud of the label, and so many great friendships I've made over the years, through music, through what we call power pop, and whatnot. David and I, met 25 years ago, or whatever it has been. It's at least that, maybe it's longer, via power pop. I had good friends like Jamie Vernon, Bullseye, Jim Slade over here, Groove Dis. Of course, Ray Gianchetti of Cool Cat Music, which is all K's, Cool Cat and Music, all K. That's where you can buy a lot of this stuff we talk about too. A lot of this power pop. A great distributor. 20 minutes from me in Sewell, New Jersey. Ray Gianchetti and Cool Cat Music. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate all the friends we make and get to talk to here on Material Issues. You know, you look at like celebrities and podcasters and people like that. They go, oh, we appreciate our fans. I love to my fans. And I really hate the word fan. Every once in a while I use it like, I'm a fan of his music, but you know, I don't like fan. I'd rather say friends, because that's what we've made through this show, through this record label, through International Pop Overthrow. We've just made a ton of friends. So we thank you. David and I thank you for following along here on Material Issues. So tell your friends about it. Go over to materialissues.com and subscribe, hit that subscribe button. And we'll send you out on Friday or Saturday. We send out a little message via Facebook and tell you who's coming up, tell you any changes happening. And it's as easy as that. This was episode number 269. Poof, that blows our minds. Time blows my mind to think about. So thanks for sticking around, my friends. 269 episodes, all archives available on materialissues.com. That takes you right to our YouTube channel. That little tab on top that says live. It's not actually a live tab. That's just a listing of all 269 episodes that were live. You can watch any of them back in the archives. So, hey, thanks again. We'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, when we have Scott Fairs of the Hollywood Stars joining us for episode number 270 as we march towards the epic 300 episodes. It's absolutely crazy. My friends, have a great rest of your Sunday night, and may the upcoming week be one of the best ever. Love you all. Good night.
Welcome to Material Issues Live. It's Sunday, the fun day, and it's great to be alive. So hit subscribe.